Hello, everybody. This is Connie from Illinois. I am live, and I'm just turning on my comments so I can see them. I have some fun projects today, or I hope fun projects today. I'm just arranging. It used to be on Facebook you could arrange your camera before you went live. It was so much easier. And now I just look kind of stupid because I'm constantly fiddling with the camera at the beginning of every video. Anyway, how's your day? Hi, Christy. I'm hot, and so I've been trying to stay indoors. We have these weird bee-looking things that are swarming our backyard, and I don't even want to go out with moose. Ugh, I don't know what they are. I don't think they're actually bees, but they're big and black, and they're about that big around, and they buzz by you. They're kind of crazy, like June bugs. I don't know what they are. Anyway, they're not June bugs, because June bugs are small, and I'm not afraid of those, but I do not like these. They are huge. Anyway, before I get started, I have some cards to make, and I'm excited to show you, but I want to show you my 4th of July project. I know a lot of you know I cross stitch, and I started this about the end of May, like the last week in May, and it is a gigantic flag, and it's very, I know, it's big. So let me just say it's 26 inches wide, and then I don't know how tall it is. At probably 14, I don't know. About 13 inches tall, because there's, the stripes, 13. Anyway, so I am making progress. My goal is to have this done by the 4th of July, and this is all that I have left. I'm on the very last page of the pattern, and this is really a cool thing that I'm going to hang. I cross stitch a lot, so I'm fast, and this, has taken me about a month. These stars, yuck. But that's all I have left. Anyway, all the states are in the order that they were admitted to the Union, so I think that's really cool. And I can't wait to finish it, and it's going to turn out so cool. And I love showing off my progress on things like this, because people forget that I cross-stitch, and I have prolifically cross-stitched my entire life. I think I learned when I was, I want to say 12 or 13. I can't remember exactly how old I was. My mom had a home party, and a lady came and taught everybody how to cross stitch, and so I just jumped in, and there you go. Back when home parties were the thing, remember that? Okay, yesterday a whole bunch of product went live online. For Stampin' Up, they had their every other month release of online products. And if you go on to any social media platform right now and you follow anything Stampin' Up, you will see demonstrators who have started showing all these products and stuff. And I have to be in the right mood to show everything. Hi Laura. But this tractor caught my eye, and maybe it's because I'm from Illinois and there's like farmland all over the place. I mean, I can walk to a field. That's how close I am. My father lives a huge field just down the street from him. I have my coffee. A whole family of farmers. Now, this is really fun to put together, and the dies in it are really fun. It even has like all the tractor parts. Like, you don't have to stamp anything. You could just do all the tractor parts separately and just buy the dies. But I wanted all these fun little parts, and I wanted to make a fun card, and I made the little chick they didn't give us a driver, right? And so without getting out the lawn fawn critters or something that are small, the only thing I was supplied was a chick, a chicken, a rooster, I don't know. Anyway, so I made him drive, and I said, hey, chick, don't let life ruffle your feathers. And I pulled these out of my stash, but the ones that come with it are, thanks for pulling me through, thinking of you, it's your birthday, hey, season's greetings, and this is a big thing of hay. I am going to have a lot of fun with this, but I just wanted to show you that because I'm kind of using the arches today a little bit, and I started making this card just for kicks. So there's that. And then I think that's super cute. You know, I really love Wednesdays because you never know what is gonna get me going. Sometimes I'm like, I want to make cards. Sometimes I want to make scrapbook pages, whatever. Are you guys going to be around on the 4th? Because I usually go live on Friday, and I don't have anything going on in the morning. I considered doing a stash buster, like grab out a Echo Park pack or something and make a bunch of cards. I thought that might be fun. Sorry, I'm sorting. I thought I had all my piles sorted. So I have a bunch of card bases, and I don't know what I did with all my cardstock, but I have a few panels. I usually have scads of panels all over the place. Oh, there they are. Okay. I have a lot of panels that I cut today because I'm going to make a few different styles of cards if I have time. I don't want to be on here all day long. Oh, look at these. All right. So let's grab some panels while I'm going to make a rainbow bridge card. I want to make an arch card. I just want to do a couple of blended ink cards. I don't know. I'm deciding. I have more arch cards that we can do. And I have, whenever I cut my scraps down, if I'm not using them for just white, I don't cut down as often, but all my other scraps, I try to cut them into layers. So I have some that are 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and then a 1/4 inch smaller, 1/4 inch smaller, you know, just so I can pull from piles in a layer. So I'm going to put that there. So the first thing I want to do is just ink blend, and I thought it might be fun to use, I have strawberry slush and peach pie that are Stampin' Up, and then I have flamingo. I needed a pink, and I don't have the pink from Stampin' Up yet. And I just thought it might be kind of fun to blend a background a little bit. So I'm gonna pop this open, and I'm not really gonna use it the way it is. I'm gonna smudge it on my table, and that's the peach. And then I'm just gonna use my water brush and drip a little water on there. I have my trusty rag nearby. I'm gonna pick up some of that color, and I'm just gonna do a wash down like this. I should do it the other direction, so it's darker at the bottom than the top. But okay, so there's some peach, and I'm just gonna clean my brush, wipe off my color, and then the next color I'm gonna use is a pale pink. And again, a little bit of water. This one's really pale. I don't want to add tons of water, right? I am not using watercolor paper, so it is important not to add scads of water. You will be like, whoa. And then I'm gonna let that dry just a little, and then I may mix, hold on a minute, I'm gonna add a little bit more. I kind of want to mix some of that pink and that peach together. Like that. That works. All right, then wipe that off. And now I've got Strawberry Slush, which is a bold, happy pink. It's very bold. I don't need that much of it, but, and add a little water. And if you're ever not sure, you know, like what color, you know, test it on something. I've always got like, scrap paper sitting around. And then I'm just doing the darker pink here. All right, I don't like that big line right there. I'm gonna try to fix that if I can. I don't think in the long run, I don't think it's gonna show very much, but okay. That ink did not like my paper. Anyway, that's gotta dry, for sure, for sure. And then I wanna do another one. In blues, and I think I'm going to use my blending brushes on this one instead of watercolor. So let me grab my blending brush, and I'm going to start with my lightest color, and I'm just going to blend some ink. Now, the reason I'm not going all the way to the edge is because I think I'm going to use this for one of my arches, and it's just going to show on the inside. So there's that one. And then I'm going to clean my brush. Now, when you clean brushes, don't soak them in soap and water. For goodness sakes, don't do it. You will loosen the glue around the base of the brush, and it, you know, very seldom needs to be washed that way. And if you do it that way, make sure you dry them so that the brushes are hanging down so that the water doesn't pool in there and loosen the glue. So one of the things, as you know, that I use all the time is my alcohol. This is, I'm looking for my bottle that's not empty yet. I have no idea where it went. I think Steve may have used it for something. This may need to be opened. Yep. All right. So if you spray alcohol on a rag and swish your brush around on it, it dries so fast. And look, see the ink? Now, I'm not saying you could keep going where all the stain is off, but you can see there's no color on that. Now I'm just gonna flip it to a drier spot and make sure my bristles are dry. And I'm telling you, there's nothing on it. If I scrub, I might get a little, but not much. And so now I can go to a new color, but I would just use alcohol to clean it. If you only have one brush, just use alcohol to clean it, and always go from light to dark, and that will help too. Now this is Lost Lagoon. Now these ink pads from Stampin' Up are foam, not linen. And when they pick up, they're juicy. Okay, they're super juicy. So when you're gonna ink blend with those, make sure you tap off the extra before you move on. like that. Pick that up and on. Now I'm going into the same color shade. I'm going to go with Peacock, which is crazy dark. And so I wouldn't have to clean it off again, but I actually have a separate brush for that dark color. Let me grab it. And the reason I have separate brushes is because I'm a hoarder. I'm a craft hoarder. Look how bold that is. You don't want to just tack that onto your project, right? You want it thinned out. Use a light touch to start. And it doesn't hurt. I mean, I could start off of my project, you know, off the edge and go into the center. And sometimes that helps because then you won't get any like brush marks, you know what I mean? But for what we're doing today, this is fine. And then I think I thought about taking that light color and going over it again just to smooth it out. I may do that. What's everybody doing for the 4th of July? Parades, fireworks, family picnics, anything fun? I always love the 4th of July. I love what it means. I love the whole celebrating the freedom and the country and I like it all. But this year, Steve's brother has been really sick, and so I don't think we're doing the normal family thing that we normally do. So I'll be hanging around at home a little more than I usually do, but that's okay. And they moved our parade here in our town to be in the afternoon, like at 4:30, which is really weird because it's normally like a morning thing, you know what I mean? All right, so I have my watercolor and I have this one, and I think I'm gonna do one last one in yellows. These are all close to my heart inks, but I can tell you, you could use lemon lolly and crushed curry and pumpkin and I can't remember the equivalent of this one, Daffodil Delight. You could totally use colors like that from Stampin' Up. I'm just bad about. Now on this one, I'm gonna blend. I think I'm just gonna blend an arch. I want to see what it looks like. If I can do it, we'll see. Sometimes I don't need all these colors. I just pulled all my yellows. I wasn't really totally sure what I would do today, right? So. So the 4th of July, we normally do a cookout. I often do homemade ice cream. It's been a little while. We didn't do it last year because it rained like crazy. The last couple years, the weather's not been great on the 4th, and but I like to make homemade ice cream with Jen and Steve. So they come home from the parade. I don't typically personally enjoy the parade. I think I want the darker color there. Because the parade is like, I don't know. It's always about 100 degrees. Jen loves it. Jen and Steve, they're parade people for sure. They love it, love it, love it, love it. And I just can't seem to. I'm always the one who gets all the bugs and the heat and the misery. It's always me. I'm always the one that's kind of miserable in the group with the heat. So all right. And so I have sort of a blended background. If this doesn't look smooth enough, I could always go back in with one of the lighter colors, but it's gonna turn out fine. It's gonna be great. All right, so let me clean up these ink pads a little bit, get them out of the way. Clean up my glass mat. I sprayed my alcohol on my glass mat. It cleans up lovely, but do not do that on your work surface. You will ruin it. Do not do that to clean your stamps. You know, be careful. Be careful. All right. So while those dry, I want to do the next card that I really wanted to do a rainbow bridge card. And where'd my rainbow go? I cut this rainbow using Sunshine Vibes and boho vibes, but the Sunshine Vibes is really neat looking, and the stamp set is nice, but the dies are these cool rainbows. And if you take this one, you can cut it in red and orange and yellow and blah 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 and make a whole bunch of stripes and make rainbows. I've shown that before. I just showed that within the last month. And then, but if you cut the whole thing itself onto white cardstock, this is what you get. So it cuts out into open stripes. Annette was over yesterday and I told her I wanted to make a rainbow, but I didn't want to have to cut all those pieces, the red, the orange, whatever. And she's like, well, just put it on a rainbow paper. And I'm like, oh, good idea. So, we have this Full of Life paper, which is amazing. This is a pack I haven't opened yet, but this is my older pack, and the back of it is, plus you get all these little pieces. The backs of this paper is all these kind of washes, almost kind of like what we just made, right? Look at that. So you could just use this for the technique that I just made, or you can decide how if you want to, you're gonna make your rainbow peek through, and you can decide what paper you want to use. And there's a lot of options here. And decisions. Ooh, that's kind of pretty with the greens and pinks. So the other side, you could do that also. It would be a totally different effect depending on which paper that you chose. Kind of neat. I really like this wash, but it's not tight enough to use. I mean, like, it's not, I want the color blends to show within the rainbow. So trying to decide. Oh, well, that's cool too. See, and these papers, you could turn them around and get different looks. Right? So neat. So neat. I just love it. I love the idea. And wow. I think I might do that one. All right. I don't want to use up all my cool paper. Isn't that terrible? So you need a second pack of paper when you hoard it and don't want to use it up. You're in trouble when. right? I'm like, oh my gosh. Oh, that one's kind of cool too. Look at that. So anyway, lots of options there. I'm going to set this paper aside. We're just going to use this one right here. And then I'm going to trim this down so that it fits. Sorry, I'm moving stuff off my desk. Pardon. Because I have stuff like just everywhere. All right, so I kind of want this, all the colors mixed in. So I kind of want the center of this sheet. So I'm just gonna cut it like maybe a 4-inch square or something. I basically just need it on the back of the rainbow. I could trim it just a smidgen more. Like that. Okay. Oh, I love it. Okay, so that'll be what it looks like. Now I need to stamp something on the front. And this, along these lines, is like one of my favorite new sets. It's absolutely gorgeous. As a matter of fact, I've been using this dog to like put as a signature on all of my cards because I love it so much. And so I just leave it on the block. It's just on the block like all the time. And so I'm gonna put him right here. Ah, he's so cute. Wipe him off and put him back in his spot. Yep. And then so I'm gonna set this aside. I could use that little heart, but I'm gonna use something else. So I went into my stash and found Sympathy, like Rainbow Bridge sets. I have one from Tailored Expressions. Dogs leave paw prints on our hearts. Home is where the dogs are. It's impossible to forget a dog who gave you so much to remember. Oh, that's so sweet. And little paw prints. So that one's really cute. This one is close to my heart. And I think this one has the message I like the most, and I like the little paw print. I'm going to use that. So let me grab a couple blocks here. No matter how long we get to love them, it's never long enough. And I want to put that message right there, like right there. I think that'll look really good. So just simple in black. Just like that. And then the little paw print. This is going to show through like this. So I could do any color of that paw print. And I also have this little heart that I could use. So I think I want to use like pink and maybe teal and pink. Let me grab my colors over here. I threw them aside, right? I was like, oh, I need those. All right, so I am going to put the paw print down here and a couple of the hearts here. And I think I'm gonna use a little pink paw print right there. And Lost Lagoon, little bitty heart here. Like that. Aw, isn't that sweet? Oh my gosh, I love this card. Okay, clean my stamp, get them out of the way, because I have, if this was the only thing I was making, I'd be like, just off camera, I'd clean up. But since I'm making more of different things, I gotta get this stuff out of my way, sorry. All right, there's those. And then we need a card base, and I don't know what color to put this on. Should I put it on gray? Oh, that's really sweet. I could put it on white. I could put it on black. It is kind of a sympathy. Oh, it's striking on black, isn't it? It's like, is it too much though? I could put it on white and just pop it up. But I think I might put it on gray. It's really soft. It's really subtle. It's soft. I like that. I could put it on teal. I could make a panel. You could do a lot of stuff with that. But this is where we're gonna go. So I'm going to adhere. We need this. I'm just moving the colors around to see how it shows through that rainbow. And I'm gonna put it in place, and I'm just gonna pat that down. And then on the back, I'm gonna add some dimensionals. Trying to take the little things off as in a hurry, but that doesn't work very good for me. Sorry. I'm slow pokey when it comes to this stuff. I like, when I'm doing big sections like this, I like to use the edges. And you don't want it to sag in the middle, you know what I mean? So, all right. Okay, now let's see if I can get these off of here. My 4th of July nails are not working to help me peel. I usually use, sometimes I use my pokey tool to pull these off, but it's not in sight. Could be anywhere. We've been crafting pretty much nonstop all week. I feel like the last week, every single day, somebody's been checking on me. I appreciate all of that. Thank you guys. Hi, Dana. So I think it's a good week to do kind of softer and sympathy type cards. Look at that. Isn't that cute? So that's, kind of a rainbow bridge card. I really like that. And I might, just because the rainbows are floppy, I might even tack a little tiny bit of glue behind them later. But anyway, you get the drift. That's one card. Okay, let's pull in our others. This one's still a little bit wet. No shocker there, since I put so much ink and water on it, right? Heat it up with my heat tool. Let's get this thing going. So, prairie grass, let's talk about that. Prairie grass is one of the new sets, and it's probably low on a lot of people's radar because it's just sort of online, and there doesn't look to be a whole lot that goes with it. But it drew my attention. Sometimes life is just hard. You're not alone. I'm here for you. So very sorry. Sending the healing power of love. I mean, all of these are great. I also thought, you know, yeah, it could be like a sympathy thing, but it could also just, you could use it with that tractor. You know, it could be like a background for the tractor. I don't know. It's just something to think about. So I want to use, I think look how big it is too. My goodness, it's huge. This is almost as big as my hand. So this will fill the card, okay? But I definitely want to put this on here. And I think I'll move my magnet out of the way. I don't really need it. It's kind of stuck to my mat. Just a second. There we go. I have, if you're wondering, like, what is going on with my Misty, I have like a grip mat on the inside there, and that grip mat is amazing to hold your card or something in place without having to use the magnet. Look at that. See, I like to use a Misty because you can do a double black stamp and it'll stamp in the exact same place. And then when you pull it up, see how pretty that is? Oh, okay. And then to clean that up, I have water or stamp cleaner, because a grip mat is basically just made with the same material as a polymer stamp. And so you can just use stamp cleaner or water to clean that off. Don't use alcohol. You will dry out damage your stamps and your grip mat, and not worth it. Alcohol is good for your blending brushes, but not for the other. Okay, and then, so now I have this cool arch panel, which I think looks pretty neat. I used the different arch dies to make my arches. And the cool part about an arch is that you get both the innie and the outie when you cut it. So let's see which one. Oh, see, that one looks nice, but it's small. Those are the small ones. And I think I'm gonna make an outie using using the blue one. So let's do this one just like this. And here's my black card base. Could use white. We have our panels. We could use panels. So that's kind of a neat idea too. I feel like the white draws it out. I don't love it, so. All right. This color's neat though. I really like that. It's a too Halloween-y. It's got a lot of orange there, but it's neat looking. It kind of looks like the bottom color, right? Okay, I really like how that looks. And so I will adhere that together. And then the only thing I would need on here is a message, you know, so sorry for your loss or thinking of you. I might trim that black panel down so it's not quite so big, because I think it'll turn out looking pretty cool, just the way that looks. So there's another card. I'm not gonna put it all together because you see what I'm talking about. Like, I just need messages. Oh, you know what would also look nice on there is some words. I could like do a really light, maybe I'll do that on the next one. So for this one, flatten it back out. I wanted to use this Coneflower Celebrations. It's out of the catalog. I really like how it looks, and it seems like everybody is using the dies because the dies are so amazing. Of course, the dies are amazing, but I love the idea of using a stamp set. And look, mine is brand new, hasn't been touched yet. Ugh. So let's do that. I'm just gonna get a giant block out, too big for what I need, but that's okay. And I'm gonna rub it on my hand and kind of not rough it up, but get those manufacturing oils off of it and stuff, and make sure that sometimes, you know, when you get a new stamp, the ink will bubble up on it. It looks like it looks like it goes on, but then it starts to bubble and you won't get a good image. And that's because it needs to be cleaned once or twice before you use it. And I usually would practice. Okay, which way should I make this? Pink up, pink down. Let's do pink up. I'm just going to put this on here. It's a big one. Stamp. My paper is warped, so I probably should have a cushion under there. It's stamped pretty good. All right. And then wipe that off. And it needs a stem. If you ever have a squiggly thing like the stem and you're like, it wants to curl it, because you can, you know, maneuver how curly the stem is, and you're not really sure like that it's in its natural, you want to stamp it the way it was meant to be, you can just kind of let it fall onto your work surface. It will fall kind of naturally the way that it was intended, and then you can pick it up with your block. That. And then I think I will, let me see what messages there are. I'm sorry I missed your special day. Let's extend the celebration. No, I won't use that. It's your day. You made my day. Oh, you made my day is nice. Happy belated birthday. It's your day, like a birthday. Celebrate you. I love that I've known you for so many birthdays. Oh, that's cute. This doesn't strike me as a birthday set. I don't know why, but I think, thank you. I think I'll just put you made my day. I don't think I need the Gigantor block anymore. I'll just get out a regular. And we're gonna do that in black also. Just right here. And I think I do want a leaf. Which one? I don't like how that one's so droopy. I'm gonna do this. I'm just gonna do one leaf. Yeah, I think here. I botched it by dropping it. I dropped it on my warpy paper, but that's okay. It's gonna be totally fine. And then I'm debating about the butterfly. like whether I want a butterfly at the top. I think I do. Why not? Let's just use that set. Holding my paper down so it all right, that's really pretty, and I think it probably needs some gems. Some of those pink, some of the pink gems would be really nice on this, right? Let's get it attached to a card base though, because man, it's warpy. I like what, I don't know what I did with that card base, but I like the black. Ta-da. You know what else would look nice? I think I'm gonna tear the edges. Are you guys like, is that too weird? I know it takes a minute, but I think if you tear the edges all the way around and you kind of hold it with your fingers so that it doesn't go too far offline. And the other thing you could do is you could tear it, like put it against a table or something to tear it. And you do want some of that white showing. You don't want to take all your white away because then you lose the effect of your watercolor wash. But this is going to fix my botched area down here, okay? Where I kind of dropped my stamp onto the part of my paper that was sticking up, you know? Good job, Connie. Okay. Oh, that's really nice. All right, so I need to straighten this out, and I want to raise it up. So I could put it all on foam tape, but I keep scraps around my craft room like crazy for this reason, because I really like to use up my paper scraps. And I know this is like a weird foreign thing to a lot of people. Like, why would you do that? Get my glue. I left my glue unplugged after Annette and I were playing yesterday. Good job. All right. Anyway, so I put this on the back. You could just do one big panel, but I have scraps on my desk that are ridiculous, you guys. Like, I will never, since when you scrapbook especially, you have a lot of scraps like this where you're cutting, you're cutting like an 11-inch piece of paper and you end up with like a 1-inch strip. And yeah, you can use those for messages and small images, but I cannot keep up with my scraps. I don't know how you are, but I certainly can't. And so this is what I use instead of foam tape a lot. I take these crazy scraps and I just build that back up so that it's going to be elevated. Make sure my fold is on the correct side. Okay. I don't want to do it backwards, but see, it's going to be elevated. I'm only going to glue my backing here. All right. And then I'm just going to put this on here. Now, I know it sounds weird. It doesn't matter how you tore it, but try to make your message in line with the base of your card so it looks straight. Like if you were looking at, a ruler, for example, and you straighten at the bottom, make sure that this is straight. So that liquid glue gives you a moment to wiggle it straight. If your message is crooked, your whole card will look crooked, even if this part looks perfect. Okay, so this tearing idea is great. If you're stamping on something and you realize that you stamped your message crooked, don't start over. You don't have to start over. you can totally just, I don't know what color of, oh, maybe I'll use all the colors of gems because they all look great. I'll use a light, a medium, and a dark or something. There's a medium. Oh, wow. I don't know. I love that. I love that a lot. And if I added a little shimmer brush to it, it might even like be wow. Does that sound crazy? What if I shimmered part of the butterfly? Whoa. Okay. Yeah, that's really neat. Okay, I need to quit. But I hope you can, I don't know if you can see that shimmer or not, but it is shimmery and it's really pretty. I love that card. Oh, I love it. And I probably should stamp. See, thank you. I think this one is like sympathy, and I probably need to do something with that to make it not quite so dark if I'm going to use it for sympathy, right? I'm just saying. Okay, the last one. Oh, look at that. Gems. Should I put a little gem on there too? You know, I can't help myself with these gems. They're so fun. La. All right, anyway, let's do our blue card. What do we want to use on the blue card? I want to, this is my idea. I want to make an arch on the top, kind of like the tractor card was. And so this will go on the top of the card and it will fill the card base like that. So I just have to decide what I want on the inside. So I could do another coneflower. I could do any of the prairie grasses like that. Boy, see, any of those messages would be great on that sympathy card. I got to think about that. The other one that I thought about were the dolphins. You know, I haven't ever used them. I'm just going to get them out and let's just see. This may be a bust. I don't know. But I haven't used them yet and it feels wrong to have all these stamps and not use them. So let me get a block. I mean, cool to have like the tiger sitting at the bottom. Like if you did that with the yellows and oranges, the bicycle would be kind of cute. Oh, look, you could do the rose in an arch like Beauty and the Beast. Huh, that would be so cute. I really need to play with this more. But I think we're gonna do, I don't think these are dolphins with, they kind of look more like narwhals, don't they? I mean, with the big, they look like they have a big nose like a narwhal. Could be an orca, I don't know. It's supposed to be lines, right? Anyway, let's get this out of the way so that we can stamp on here. And we're gonna stamp it in black, that way we don't have to color, right? I don't want to color. Anybody else like feeling lazy about that? Now we want it inside of our arch though. So just try to get an idea. There's that one. Wipe my stamp off. And there's a little baby one in here too, or a small one. So I'm gonna do them both. Let's see. Like I said, they're brand new. Never even used them. And we'll put them inside. Now this one looks like more of a dolphin. I don't know. Maybe not. There you go. We could even do a couple, but no, let's not get carried away. All right. Yeah, you know, I love that set. I've used it so much. I'm debating on putting that little heart on there because I just love it so much. But okay, put it away. Don't get carried away. I'm going to put this over here. This one's along these lines. The Beauty and the Beast thing, I'm dying. I feel like I have some Disney photos where I could do something with that. I don't know what yet, but I will. For the message, let's see. You're not alone. I'm here for you. How about that? Oh, wow. That's a good message. Now I got to figure out which one it is. You're not alone. What's wrong with me that I can't read backwards today? I better stamp this onto something first to make sure I got the right one. Otherwise I'll be like, oops. All right. So this one, I could put on a banner that goes across. I like that idea because there's so much space here. So again, I get into my crazy scraps. And okay, I intentionally inked this one hard because I wanted to show you how I stamp surgery my stamps. See how there's black edges? And then sometimes when you stamp these, if you rock, you'll get the edge. Oh, good. I got the right one. Okay. Sometimes if you rock them, you'll get the edge. And so I will take my scissors and just go straight up and down and trim that extra away. You don't want to cut into your image, and you don't want to cut at an angle like this. You don't want to undercut it. You want to cut it straight up and down. If you get a stamp like this that's not trimmed really tight. Now the other trick with red rubber stamps is on messages, you want them straight. Let me get my other scissors. They're stuck. Okay. If you make all of your red rubber messages totally perfectly straight along the bottom, when you cut them like this, see how that's as straight as I can cut anyway. It's pretty straight. So now when I put it on my block, this is what I see. And as long as that is straight with my paper, my message will be straight. I do that a lot, okay? I trim, especially messages. And then, see, I got a hickey. I hate that. That's hickey. That's what they call it in the printing business. So, again, if I won't use a stamp set if I have to fiddle with it every single time I use it. I just won't use it. So I make my stamps work for me, okay? All right, I am going to put this right here. Perfect. So if you, for example, ever bought a stamp set from me, and you were like, what the heck? She's got all of her stamps are all cut up. They're all messed up, wrong. You don't even realize if somebody's done that for you, it's like gold. All right, hold on. I'm getting out some paper and I'm getting out my trimmer. And I'm going to trim this. This will be 4 1/4 inches wide. And we'll make this an inch. We'll do that, and then I'm going to trim my message down. And we want to center it approximately. And I'm just trimming off camera the top and the bottom of the message so that it will lay right on top here. I like how that looks. And then I'll probably put some gems here. We'll see. We'll see. I could, you know, dovetail the ends. That would look nice too. Let me try that. Like I said, I came on here today with no intention of anything in particular. I just knew I wanted to use the new sets and I wanted to make another arch card. It helps if I cut straight. What the heck? That's better. I really like that. I like that a lot. And then I think, do I want a few bubbles on here? I think I do. I just keep messing, but I've been on an hour, so I need to calm it down, get out of here. So I'm going to finish this card real quick. This is the splotch from Elements of Text, which is, came out last year. That's a splotch. And I just want some like bubbles. Okay. And not a lot of it will show, but I like how it looks. I like it. Okay. I didn't put the words, I thought about putting the Elements of Text, you know, on next to that coneflower. I think that would be beautiful. Okay, let's put this together. And make sure my fold is in the right place. That's approximately centered. I like the idea of this being up in the air. I have some of the strips like you would use to make a shaker. You wouldn't have to use the entire strip to do this, but why not? I'm doing it anyway. So, hi Bonnie. Hey Bonnie, what are you doing for 4th of July? Are you a parade person? Are you going to the fireworks? We're cookout people. We used to have a cookout every year, and then after the fireworks were over, we illegally shot off all of our fireworks in our driveway and stuff, out in the street in our driveway. And then a lot of the neighbors would come over and sit with us, but we did not do that last year. We shot off a few, but not many. You know, the weather just wasn't great. And then, sorry, I gotta focus, try to get that straight on there. And then, I don't know, this year, we're just not all in the mood. It's been kind of a rough couple of weeks in the Hart family. So, all right, let's see. Oh my gosh, that is so pretty. And then gems, because you have to have gems. I think just silver sparkles. I probably could have put a couple of, like a piece of acetate in there. Not actually making it a shaker, but making it like a shaker would have made it a little sturdier maybe. Or a little thicker foam tape or something. Anyway, ooh, that's pretty. I just threw my, there they are. Okay, let's go through the cards one more time. So we have this one, which I don't know. It's simple, but it's really pretty. And it's perfect for like giving to somebody who's feeling sad. The Rainbow Bridge card. Really sweet. This one that I'm trying to decide exactly, do I want to make it this dark? I can't decide if I really want to make it that dark. Like maybe it needs to be on white. I don't know. I could cut the next size arch or something. I don't know. Haven't decided totally on that one. And then we have our Coneflower card with the butterfly. See, that one would look really cool with the, that elements of text, like, stamped on the side over here. It's just really pretty. And then, of course, I can't forget my tractor card, which is the arch that I sponged on, you can't tell just on camera, but I sponged this background in light blue and a little bit of green here. I stamped the corn all over. This sun is from Sunshine Vibes. I drew the M birds because I needed M birds. I wasn't going to go hunt for M birds. All right. And then little chick. Hey, chick. So there's our cards for today. Let's see. Messages. Just bought a grip mat. Gonna try it this weekend. Oh, that's awesome. I have several. So I took one and cut it down for this mini one. And I'm just gonna leave it in here because they're hard to get in and out once they're in. Like, they're in. But they're so nice not to have to use that crazy magnet. And then the other one that I have that I really love, because this grip mats on glass stick like glue, okay? They're really good at sticking to that. So I have like a waffle flower one that I leave the back on all the time, and I just peel the top off to use it so it won't grip to my glass. And then I have this Alta New one, and the back of it has this like waffle weave kind of feel, and you can stick it to the glass. Like it'll stick like this to everything else, but then the waffle weave thing puts a little air in there and allows you to be able to pick it up from your glass. It sticks really well, but then you can pick it up without hassle. Where if you just have a smooth grip mat, it's a little more work to pick it up. So those are the ones I have. And then the one that I put in my Misty is actually, I think it's from Peddler's Den or something. I don't even remember what brand that was. Okay, that's what I have. Tonight I'm going live again for you Facebook folks with Stephanie's paper. Her family really wants everyone to get a little bit of her crafty goodness. And I just want to get all that stuff settled and get things into the mail to you guys. So, all right. You can get ink on the grip mat. It is made of the same material as a stamp. It's photopolymer. So you just clean it with water or stamp spray and you're good. So, yep. You just wash it off with water and a rag. That's why I always have this disgusting cloth. I always have something to clean with. And I have just a little bottle of water, And I have just a little bottle of, this is Squeaky Clean. This is like Brutus Monroe or something, but you could use anything. I have Stampin' Up cleaner. I have all kinds of cleaners. You don't need to use cleaner. You can just use water. So, all right. And you can always put it, if it loses its sticky, you just put it in soap and water, wash it with Dawn, and let it air dry. Get all that dirt off of it and let it get sticky again. It'll never be quite as sticky as it was the first day, just like your stamps. You know, your stamps are insanely sticky when you first get them, almost too much so, and then, you know, it gets better as you use them, and eventually they don't stick enough, and you're like, what the heck, right? Okay, I will chat with you all later. Have a lovely holiday. I may, if I have time, go live on Friday and just do, I was thinking about doing a stash buster with some Echo Park stuff, and depending on what our family decides to do that day. So I will post that on Facebook. So thanks everybody. Bye-bye.